field, catches it for a touchdown.
Would you
That's
look
a
at that? Would you look at that?
Suarez there. Cool with the big three. Very. Takes it all the way now. Nice. All right, hey, we want to welcome you guys here to Friday Night Football. We've got the Camas Papermakers coming down to play the Union Titans here. Big game here, last game of regulation season here. This is for all the marbles in Clark County for the Greater Southwest. School districts out here, District 4A schools, the big ones down here. See who gets to stay at home for the majority of the playoff run and who's going to go around there and travel. Perfect night for the Pacific Southwest. The Pacific Northwest out here. We have got rain, which if you're from around here, that is nothing new and nothing special. I'm Rod Lawrence. We've got Ryan Vassbinder out here with me today. This is going to be a great game, you guys. I have talked to both coaches and both sides coaching staff. Everybody's feeling like this is going to be a very good game. As coaches always say, if the boys come to play, it ought to be competitive. That's kind of cliched now in the football world, but you do understand that if you've been around this game in Clark County long enough that you know that this has become the rival game down here. There were years where Camas was the team to be beat, and this year that situation has kind of flipped itself around with the Union Titans coming in as the higher-ranked team, actually, in the state, and I still do believe that they are ranked number one. So with that being said, this team, we're going to go ahead and get this kickoff. Camas has deferred, so they are going to Union is deferred, I'm sorry about that. So Camas will be taking the ball on the first half here. And we are ready to get this started off. Just let everybody know that we are also streaming this on YouTube on the Evergreen School District channel. If you don't have anybody in the immediate area who would like to watch this game as well. So we're taking care of it on all facets to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to watch this great game. We do appreciate you being here. This is EPS Sports. Rod Lawrence, Ryan Vassbinder, and let's get this show started. All right, Ryan, so, what's going on, man? What are you talking about? What do you think is going to happen out here, man?
This is going to be a great football game. Now, Camas is coming in, they're receiving the ball, but they're a little unsure at quarterback right now. They had some injury. They had who was it? Andrew Boyle get hurt in the Skyview game last week. And so Asesito came in, and he did a great job. So we'll be curious to see who comes out and starts here and plays the first possession for Camas under center. But then at the same time, Lincoln Victor has been out for the past 2 weeks for Union as well.
Yeah,
now Coach Roddy Rosenbach said that Lincoln Victor could have played last week, but they held him out to give him another week of rest. But still, that's 2 weeks where you're not playing.
Yeah.
So there could be a little rest that's developed. So we'll see how things play out here.
Good deal. Well, it looks like the starting quarterback for Camas is going to be Jake Blair. I'm going to hand that ball off there on the first go-around to the running back, number 12. And that is going to be Shane Jamison. Camas is going to come out in the traditional spread offense. But they do like to carry a tight end with them this time, and their tight end is going to be number 86, Dawson Ingram. Blair now is going to hand that off to Jamison. Jamison is trying to get the edge, and he's not going to find anywhere to go on that play. Looks like they're going to have him back to the original line of scrimmage here. We're going to bring up a second down and see what they have the spot here for us. The Union Titans are definitely a team that's on a roll this year. We've got an opportunity to do quite a few of their games and just be around this school here lately. Everybody is familiar with the loss of their O-line coach, Mark Rigo. And so these kids are playing for a couple of different reasons. They're just a great coach, well-coached ball club, and they're playing for the legacy of Mark Rigo as well. So a lot of emotions running high, and we're expecting these to be a great football game from two very well-coached football teams. So you guys are in for a treat tonight, and thanks a lot for hanging in there with us and coming to check this out. So they did lose the yard that they gained. Is going to bring up third down now and 10. Blake Blair, young sophomore quarterback out here taking the snaps. He's going to roll out, looking for a receiver downfield. Intended receiver is going to be Luke Sturbell, and it's just going to be thrown a little over the top of him, and that is going to bring up a fourth down and long, and it's going to bring out the punt team. Deep guys, we've got Joseph Ciafelli and Darian Chase. The two guys to run this one back. Almost blocked, but he is able to get that one off. A nice high one. Joseph's going to let that one hit the ground and bounce. It looks like it's going to be down right there around the 35-yard line. So with that being said, we do see Victor Lincoln heading out onto the field for the first time in the last 2 weeks. And the running back is going to be Niall Jones, who's somebody we didn't see a whole lot of last week as well. So Isaiah Jones actually carried a lot of the load in the running back responsibilities last week. And we're at this familiar position. They've got split backfields here. Split backs, I should say. And they've got Joseph Ciafelli and Niall Jones in the back. Ciafelli's going to take this one first. He's going to get caught in the backfield and then just going to get ran to about lose 3 or 4 yards on this one. Looks like they are going to stop forward momentum right there at the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up second down and 10. Got a 3-receiver set on the far side. Darian Chase, Alex Vallejo, going to kind of drop that one off. Victor decides to take that one himself. He's going to pick up a face mask, but then a great big run after that. So they're going to tack 15 yards onto that nice run there. Ciafelli tripped up there by the cornerback for the Camas Paper Makers. And here's the replay here. Nice little fake. There's the face mask there. You saw that. And it looks like he's going to actually get tripped up there by number 17, Colby Boardman. So with the nice run and the big penalty, that'll bring him into Papermaker territory and first down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Well, I take that back. They're going to tack it on to the end. So the run took them to the 44, and they're going to move it an additional 15. So it was the flagrant variety of face mask. And so they're going to take the big 15, and it'll be first and 10 now from the 30-yard line. Two running back set. They're going to give this one to Ciafelli once again, and he is not going to have anywhere to go on that play. A host of Papermakers are right there to stop him. They took him down pretty hard on that play. They wrapped him around his neck and they brought him down. So.
Yeah, it certainly did. It looks like he was a little slow to get up. He's fine. But here we go. Down number 2.
Nice shot of the band there. This time they're going to give it to Niles Jones. who once again runs into that stiff papermaker front line. And they're not going to get much out of this either. Maybe a couple bring up third down in long situation. Tyler Criddle, big man in the middle, number 72. His credit for that stop. Rain coming down pretty heavy here, so we'll see if that's going to become a factor. Going to be whose ball boy is doing the best job tonight, making sure that they keep dry ones coming out there on a regular basis. CFL in motion. A roll out for Victor. He's got Darian Chase open downfield. Darian's going to try to go up and bring that one down, but great defensive stance there. Now the papermaker cornerback. And that is going to be Charlie Bump out there, number 8. I take that back. That is not number 8. That's number 6. That's going to be Matt Williams. He's lined up, head up on Darian Chase up there at the top of the field. So that'll be a matchup that I'm sure we'll see a lot of tonight, and we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Darian being a highly recruited young fella down here in this part of the world. Ball's going to be bobbled. Victor's going to be able to pick that up, see if he's going to make something happen. Got a man sitting out there on the flat waiting for that one. Nice job there. Makes the catch. But it is not going to be enough for a first down, so Camas looks like they are going to get this ball back. Well, it looks like based on the spot, they are going to give him the first down. So a broken play. We kind of talked about, I just made the comment about the weather and the ball. There's it's a weather-related incident right there. But Victor able to capitalize on that, gets that ball out there to Ciafelli, and he's able to get enough of the first down and move the chains. Enough here for an option. He is going to get wrapped up by the big man, number 72, is Victor.
And on that fourth down play, Lehman Victor did such a good job to pick his head up and look for his options.
Yeah, he sure did.
Most quarterbacks in this type of league, they would have picked the ball up, they would have tried to run it to get the first down. He found his option, he found his man, and they were able to go ahead and convert.
Yeah, they sure were. They sure were. This time they're going to run the eye. Flips it off to Ciafelli. Ciafelli is going to take the ball. He is going to get down across the 15-yard line, but a penalty flag comes in late. And we'll see what that's going to be about. And that is going to be a holding call against the Titans, and that's going to back them up another 10 yards. Number 72, Billy Schultz, 6'2", 255 O-lineman, is definitely making his presence known up there. He's been involved in all of the tackles that have set up his losses for the Titans so far. So, they come in with an odd front. They've only got 3 men with their hand in the dirt. They got a nose guard and 2 tackles, and right now they're putting in the work.
They really are, and, Camas' defensive line has been outstanding this season.
They have. Ciafelli in motion. Going to set for a roll-up. Now trying to throw a block. Victor stops. He's going to get flushed back the other direction, and he's got a lot of open field to go to. He's going to split the tacklers and get down to the 5-yard line. Great tackle, or I should say great run there by JoJo Ciafelli. For Lincoln Victor. He's dangerous.
He's so dangerous.
You have to be accountable for that, young man. A broken play doesn't necessarily mean a broken play. You know what I'm saying? Here's a nice little replay here. You're going to notice when he's throwing the ball, they're going to roll him out so he can see. But he's going to get ran back the other direction where there is nobody. And then this explosive speed right here just kind of shows he almost split those 2 tacklers and got in there for the touchdown. We're going to hand this one off to Joseph Ciafelli, and he is going to fall in to the end zone. Let's see if they're going to say they're not going to give him the touchdown right now.
I think there was a flag thrown as well out of the back of the end zone.
I think it was a face mask once again against one of the paper makers. I could kind of tell the way his head kind of jerked when he went down. They're tackling him high tonight. He's going to have to be careful. So, it's probably ultimately going to end up about a half an inch type of penalty because they are already so close. But there was definitely a penalty. And it is the face mask. So it would be half the distance to the goal line, and if it's 1 inches, so they gave him a half an inch. So 1st and goal from the 1 inch line here. Mal Jones and Joseph Ciafelli in the game here in the running back positions. They like to put Ciafelli in slot. He's an athlete. They want to get him in open space and kind of get him the ball. So they will move him around and just kind of watch the matchups that kind of happen around him and make decisions based on that as well. This time they're going to give it to Jones. Jones looking to get in. He is going to get stacked up. We'll see if the ultimate push gets him in. And the officials are still not ready to give him the touchdown. Nice defensive stance there by the paper makers. That's going to bring up 2nd down and goal. Union will huddle up. Darian Chase comes out of the game. Nice shot there, Elijah Juan Taylor, one of their bigger receivers. He also likes to line up on the tight end. It looks like there was a little confusion, so the Titans are going to go ahead and call a timeout instead of lose 5 yards on delay a game. So what we're kind of looking at is a pretty stiff little ball game here. I mean, Victor's been out for 2 games, so I would imagine some fresh legs.
Right.
Especially if he was like officially healthy to play last week and just sat out another week. He is definitely looking like he's ready to go. I mean, I see a whole lot of energy in that young man right now, and they're going to have to be real careful that they don't let him beat them, because they seem to be keying really hard on Ciafelli right now. I mean, whenever he has the ball, there's 4 or 5 on him right now. Like during film session, that's what they was talking about. And you got to be careful because Victor will beat you. If you're going to let him, if you're going to roll him out and flush that man out of the pocket, you almost do better to kind of let him sit there and throw it and play defense down the field than to flush him out of the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Set up here again. This time Victor's going to keep it himself, and he is going to get in. We'll wait for the official from the officials, and there it is. So Union Titans on the board first here with 6 points, 5:18 left to play in the first quarter, and the Titans on their first possession of this quarter have now scored.
Yeah, and on that drive we saw a very traditional Union offense.
Yeah, we did.
And they've got so many offensive weapons that they can go to, whether it's Lincoln Victor on his feet or Darian Chase in the air, Nile Jones running the ball. They've got so many options. It's hard to stop them.
Yeah,
now,
it sure is.
This isn't to say Camas isn't going to be able to come back down the field either.
No, they also definitely have the ability.
They certainly do, and I mean, this is a situation where these kids dream of. You've got a packed house in the stadium. It's the last league game. It's for the 4A title.
Yeah.
For GSHL, and they're 2 rivals.
Yeah, it sure is. This is what you like it to come down to at the end of the year. This makes it the most exciting. And at the end of the day, these guys get a tough game in before they hit the playoff road, which is something you need. You want to get out of a game like this injury-free because both teams are going into the playoffs. It's just going to be the roads they take. So second, first you want to win. Second, let's stay healthy. Let's keep all of our good guys healthy so they can be ready for the run to go ahead and get them to the Tacoma Dome. Camas has 2 deep men out there, both of them standing inside the 5-yard line. Christian Alcorn's doing the kicking here. Number 48 for the Titans. And we are ready to go. We're going to keep that one on the ground. It's going to get picked up right there around the 11-yard line. Contact made on the 20, and that young man's going to go down at about the 22. Ball carrier on that one. So they start to this game with, we kind of talked about Andrew Boyle getting hurt. So they're starting with the young sophomore here, Jake Blair, 6'2", 175. He's going to send the man in motion. Yeah, it looks like he's going to decide to go ahead and keep this one. He's going to get down across the 25-yard line before he stopped. He's going to be brought down there by Joshua Jew. Fakes the handoff. Nice pass right there in the middle. Going to be brought down. That's Joey Schnell. That's going to be enough to move the chains. Nice quick timing route there.
And in my opinion, that's going to be the key for Camas to win this football game.
Yeah,
Quick timing routes. Don't let the Union secondary get an opportunity to get in front of a receiver.
Yeah, most definitely. And we had a jailbreak here on the on that play. Looks like there was an all-out blitz called defensively, and there was nowhere for Jake Blair to go. He just had to go down in that pile of Union players. Big loss there. Is going to bring up second down now. And 17. This time, Camas sets up. Nobody in the backfield. They're going to hand the ball off on the fly sweep. And the running back is going to get brought down right now. And that is going to be Jacquees Birdsell. Ball carrier on that. They're going to lose a little bit more on that, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 20. So definitely expect the Titans to pin their ears back and come after them on this one. And the paper makers want to time out and talk about this one. You know, we've talked about this before. There is no play in the playbook for 3rd down and 20. So, you know, it's going to be looking at a play that's going to take advantage what the Titans are doing defensively, which is a heavy rush right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some kind of screen or some kind of flare that kind of got them behind that front five, and then just kind of let their athletes get out in the open and kind of do something, and hope to get us some decent field position. If so, when you kick, if you have to punt, then you're going to put the Titans in a position to where they have to go the full length of the field to get another score, which is how you have to deal with these. You can't give the Titans a short field or they'll kill you.
No, you're absolutely right.
So Birdsell now lined up on the right side of the quarterback here, dropping back. He's got a man open, and that is going to be outside of his reach. That was the intended receiver, Jackson Kleemer. So with a 4th down and 20, they will be punting the ball. Darian Chase and Alex Vallejo, the two guys in the back. Both of them standing around the 40-yard line. Does get that ball off. He's going to back Alex up, and it is going to take a very good bounce and get them down inside the 15-yard line. So Camas Special teams does a good job there, pins those Titans back there pretty far, and going to give them some distance to try to get another score.
Yeah, it was a good punt. They got a great bounce out of it. And now the question is, how do you contain the offensive arsenal that is Union High School?
That is true. That is true. That is true. Defensively, when he rolls out, they had the right thing in mind when they tried to halt his rollout, right, to make him stand up. But when you're on a chase mode, you still have to everybody stay in their lanes for when he cuts back. Mm-hmm. So there's somebody to help make that tackle. They're going to send a man in motion. CFL is going to try to get to the outside. He does. He slips that tackle. He gets up the line, and now he's going to go back towards the middle of the field to look for some extra yardage, and he's going to get to the 30-yard line on that one. And that's one thing about CFL. He will not go out of bounds unless you push him. He will cut back towards the big side of the field and try to get some extra yards out of this. Here's a good shot of that. Right there, he just they get caught on the inside of him. Not giving his speed that much respect on that, and he gets to the outside and cuts that back on the inside and gets a whole lot going on. Matt Williams is going to be credited for the tackle. Straight drop. Yeah, he's got a man open. He is going to bounce that one off the carpet there. CFL unable to get his hands under that one. And that'll bring up second down. Elijah Juan Taylor now lines up in the tight end position. Got three receivers on top. Victor is going to get flushed out of the pocket, looking for somebody downfield, unable to get that one to his receiver, kind of bounces that one off the ground as well. Intended receiver on that was Alex Vallejo. That play, so that's kind of what you're talking about. You see how you chased him that way. You didn't allow him to actually turn his shoulders and get downfield so he could make that pass, which is why he bounced it, on the carpet right there in front of Vallejo. He's rolling out again, looking for a receiver upfield. This time he's going to make the catch right there in the middle. Nice pass and catch there by Joseph Ciafelli. Tell you what, he is very dangerous coming out of the slot because you can't put your hands on him, and it allows him to roam freely. Just kind of sit down in an open area and just kind of wait for Lincoln Victor to find him and put the ball on him.
It was a great job holding onto the ball. He got hit midair.
Yep.
Those are always tough plays.
We're going to hand this ball off this time. This time, no go. He's going to get stopped right now by Camas. Shane Jamison there to make the stop. Give him about 1.5 yards on that. 2nd and 8. Union now. They're going to hand this ball off again. He's going to get into Camas territory, but he's going to get stopped shortly after that. Is Niall Jones. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. Still very impressed at how the front three there for the paper makers are handling the runs. They're being pretty stingy. They're not letting a whole lot go on. The big stuff has been on the edges up to this point, so containment has probably been more of an issue. Kind of funnel those guys back into your big boys in the middle because they're definitely making tackles inside. Got the officials stopping here. And we've got a delay of game on Union, so that's going to back them up 5 and bring up 3rd down and 10. Union's percentage rate is of 3rd and long situations is actually higher than usual, so this is not really anything that they normally panic about. They generally do pretty well in 3rd down and long situations. Drop back 3-step timing route, and he's right there to make the catch. And Sean Jamison is right there to make the stop. He's going to stop him right there about a yard before the first down. So nice defensive tackle there by Sean Jamison.
It certainly was, and we're going to see a replay of it right here. Vallejo catches the ball, and
nice, clean textbook tackle. Is what that is right there.
Yeah. Jamison stood his ground.
So 4th and short, they're going to go for this one. Lincoln Victor decides he's going to keep it. Based on the spot, we're going to see what's really going on here.
It's going to be close.
And they are going to give him the first down on this, just on the eyeball. It's a good second effort there by the quarterback to get the first down and move the chains. And with that, that is going to end the first quarter of play here. Union Titans on top, 7-0 over the Camas Papermakers. We have got us a ball game here. Rod Lawrence, Ryan Vassbinder. We'll be right back.
We are the people who dictate what happens. Most will say you can only dictate what happens in your personal life, but that's wrong. Democracy only works if you get involved, not stand by and idly watch, then complain about our leadership. That power is in our hands. So stand up and participate. Family, friends, everyone depends on it.
All right, we want to welcome you back here at McKenzie Stadium. Friday night. Big implications on this game tonight. We're looking at who's going to be king of the mountain here in 4A Greater St. Helens. Right now, Titans on top, 7-0. Rollout has a man right there open in the middle. Vallejo gets a nice little push off the initial tackler and gets down to about, it looks like, the 22-yard line before he is tackled. Looks like there might have been a missed assignment defensively. Vallejo just kind of found a little soft spot in that defense and just kind of sat there. Here's the instant replay. Coming across and just kind of slowed down in a window and waited for Lincoln Victor to find him. We got another flag on the play. Got a pretty good run there by the running back. See what the official has here. And we're going to get another holding call on the Union Titans, so that'll back them up to the 30-yard line. So ultimately an 8-yard loss. And And that backs him up to the 30 for the first down. The Titans will need to get down to the 12-yard line. Chiaffelli in motion. Lincoln looking to run the ball. This time he takes off himself, and he is going to get pushed out of bounds. It looks like at about the 27. So pretty good coverage downfield. Lincoln's had to take off a couple of times when he didn't necessarily want to. Got another penalty flag on the far side. The penalty is going to be declined, and we're going to bring up second down. Like the officials have some things to talk about. We're going to have an official timeout here. It's just a little conversation here. It looks like Camas put one of their better corners on Darian Chase. We haven't heard much from Darian up to this point, but that doesn't mean that young man won't explode on us and do something real big. That's kind of what he's known for is big plays. And we got another timeout, and it looks like we have an equipment issue, and they're going to send Jamison out of the game. He's going to be replaced by number 42, Caleb Wynn, in the linebacker spot. Man in motion. Victor now looking to get that ball. This time he breaks away from initial contact, and instead of getting sacked, he actually ultimately gets about 4 or 5 yards out of the play, and he's going to get back down inside the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, now there is another flag on the play as well, so we'll see what's going on here and what the white hat says.
And this time that is going to be against the Papermakers.
Another face mask.
And we'll see if this is going to be the big one or the little one. Let's see here. Dawson Ingram down there pleading his case. And it was incidental contact, so they only marched off 5 yards on this one. Here's the replay here. Lincoln just refusing to go down, and there was when Ingram went down, he kind of wrapped his head around. They are tackling real high today, so they got to be careful. We've had 2 big face masks, and we've seen Chiaffelli be tackled around his head a couple of times, so they are hitting high. Going to hand this one off this time. He's looking to get somewhere. He's going to get. Looks like down to about the 12-yard line before they blow the whistles on forward momentum. And it is going to be enough to move the chain. So it'll be first down to 10 from the 11-yard line. So essentially 8 downs here. They can get inside the 2 and still get the first down. Elijah Warren Taylor lined up on the far side on the numbers. Darian Chase on the numbers down at the bottom. Niles on the flare. Looking for somebody, and there's Chase coming in. Jumps over the first tackler. He's going to get a bunch of yards out of that after the initial catch. That's just his athletic ability. You know what I'm saying? They can come in low on him. He'll high step you and get out of the way. So with that play, that's going to bring up second down and 2 to go. Looks like Chase is going to be taken out of the game as well. In high school football, they are not allowed to wear jewelry around their neck, unlike the pros where they can put on anything they want to. It looks like he was taken out of the game to get rid of some jewelry that showed up. And here we go with another touchdown by the Titans from Ciafelli, but I also see 2 penalty flags on the ground. So let's see what's going to call out.
Yeah, you know, when
And we got another face mask call against the Papermakers. I've seen this many face mask calls all year long, where these guys now have had 3.
Yeah, I haven't either. And, you know, but when Union gets in this position inside, I mean, really in the end zone, or in the red zone.
There it is right there. There was another face mask. You saw it kind of jerk Joseph's helmet as he was going into the end zone.
Yeah, Union has so many options, so many offensive options, and it's just a matter of them picking one.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure
they have so many different players that they can go to, and that time they just said, "Hey, JoJo."
Yeah, it's your turn. Take the turn in for us. Well, with that being said, they have down 13 on the scoreboard. Looking for 14. And that is going to be mission accomplished. So 9:29 left to play here in this first half of ball. Titans definitely having the momentum in this first half of play here, with 2 scores to none over the Camas Papermakers. The odds makers definitely had Union winning this game, and had them winning this game by a couple of touchdowns. So Camas is going to have to come out here and play very, very disciplined football to beat these guys. And
they're going to have to get something going with their offense.
Yeah.
Their offense has really been non-existent so far this game. They have to find a way to move the ball down the field.
They sure do.
And defensively, they have to keep focused. They've got to eliminate the penalties, the face masks, and that type of thing in order to keep themselves in this football game.
Yeah, they sure do. Well, the penalty is going to be marched off at the kickoff, so Union is going to be able to kick the ball off actually on the Camas side of the field, so I'm sure we're not going to be looking at a return on this one. Looks like this one will probably definitely be kicked into the end zone, and Camas will take the ball over on their 20. So we got the kickoff team here, ready to go. And almost kicked that one through the uprights. That would have been a pretty good kick there from the 45-yard line. So the Camas Papermakers are going to take the ball over on the 20-yard line.
And Union's really been sticking with their game plan, and that's the same game plan they've followed every year. They pin their teams back. They give them 80 yards to win football in order to score.
Yeah.
And they've been successful in stopping teams.
Yeah, they do. They have been. Jake now is going to hand this ball off. Nice strong run there by Shane Jameson. Down to the 25-yard line. Union showing blitz, but back out of it. Looks like Camas changes the play. Another one to Jameson. Gets away from that first tackle and breaks into the open field. And he's going to make it to the 29-yard line before he is stopped. Another good run by that young man, and that'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Papermakers.
Yeah, he worked hard. He kept his feet moving. He wasn't going to give up until he hit the turf.
Yeah. Got 2 receivers down here at the bottom. They're going to give it to him again. And they are going to give him right back to the line of scrimmage. So a no gain there. Elijah credited for the tackle as he comes out of the game. Nice shot at how much rain's coming down. Nice that the ball boys must be doing a great job. Nobody is really, we haven't seen any, weather-related incidents up to this point. So doing a good job keeping the balls dry. They're going to give it to Jamison again. This time Jamison sidesteps the would-be tackler, and he's going to get to midfield. Darian Chase makes the stop out there in the open field. But not until they have gotten enough for the first down. So Camas now moving the ball. Nice game plan up to this point. They're being able to move the ball by running it, which is running time off the clock and moving the ball down the field and keeping the Titans offense off the field, which is everybody's game plan, whoever plays them. Birdsong now lines up as the running back. They're going to give him the ball. And he is going to get about a yard and a half, maybe 2 out of this before he is stopped. Papermakers running with 2 running backs this time. Give it to the running back this time, and he's going to not get much out of that one. He's going to bring up a 3rd down. That's a zone read play. That's probably something he probably should have held on to himself that time if they're actually reading, kind of reading what's going on. They crashed in pretty hard on that play. If he'd have pulled that out and kept it, he might have got some pretty big yards on it. This time, empty backfield. Send a man in motion. Fakes the fly sweep, and now he's got a rollout. Has a man open in the middle of the field. He makes the catch right there at about the 22-yard line. It's Joey Snell. Big pass there. Nice play, nice design, and he just kind of settled in an open area. Made that catch. Darian Chase out there to make the stop.
And Camas has done a textbook job in setting their offense up on this drive.
Yeah, they have.
They've been able to establish the run, and that opened up the opportunity for this big passing play.
Yeah, it sure did. It sure did. We did have a penalty flag. We'll see what's going on, and it's going to be a holding against the Union Titans. That is going to be declined, and they'll take the big catch by Snell and move the chains down the field. Camas just outside the red zone. They're on the move. Young sophomore quarterback at the helm for the Papermakers. Jake Blair. Going to hand this one off to Jamison. And Jamison is going to drag a couple of tacklers across the 20 down to about the 19. Jamison listed at 6'4", 220 pounds, so he's a load. They're going to have to bring it to him and hold on. It's not going to go down easy. And they're going to fake it again. This time Blair has nowhere to go. Pocket collapses on him. And it looks like they're going to show him right there at the 20. Going to lose, so that will be set up as a sack for the Titans defense. He was looking out to the left side of the field, looking for something to open up out there a little quicker than it did. And the pocket just kind of closed up on him. Once again, they're going to fake it. And a deflection out there by one of the outside backers for the Titans.
That was a big defensive play.
Yeah, that sure was.
Can't quite see who's over there on that far side of the field for that as a receiver, but if he was wide open, if they were able to connect, that most likely would have been 6.
Yeah, it sure would have been. It sure would have been. That is number 15. I'm trying to see what his name is. Jack Eggleston, it looks like what his name is. Camas is going to attempt a field goal on this. We're going to get that up, and it is going to be no good. So Camas makes an attempt to put some points on the board and not going to be able to. So with 4:31 left to play in this first half, they're going to turn the ball over to the Union Titans, who will take the ball over on their own 20-yard line. So successful in the point that you kept the Titan offense off the field and you ate up some clock, but you had to be able to put some points on that at the end, and they weren't able to do that. Union now set up. This time it's a quick pitch out to JoJo, who's just going to keep coming back inside. He's found open field now. He's going to see if there's anybody out there who's going to be able to put a hand on him. He's going to rotate it back inside. Here comes Jamison, and then he decides to turn it down sideways. And we have got another penalty flag. We'll see what this one's going to be this time. They took Joseph down pretty hard. We've got a flag back here in the back as well. This one will count depending on, so if that's a holding penalty, then it negates this one. But you see, I kind of talked about it a little earlier, how he's not running out of bounds. You know, he's going to come back inside and make people miss. They over-pursued him, and he was able to cut back underneath that. So it looks like it was a holding penalty against the Titans. So there are 3 infractions happened on that. The holding penalty happened first, so they'll be backed up down inside the 10-yard line with that holding penalty. And bring up first down and a lot. So even here with this great run, trying to see if we can't pick up the, there is a block in the back, and that was probably there, but just watch how this young man runs. Darian Chase out in front, throwing some blocks. Good job there. And then JoJo just throws that back inside. And then that's the flag they were about to throw right there on the end about how hard he got taken down. So all that for nothing. Going to bring up first down and 10. And they're going to run the same play again. This time, they're going to be a little more ready for it. They're going to bring him down right there around the 23-yard line. Isaiah Jones now has come into the game as one of the running backs in the dual tandem they have there in the backfield for the Titans. Niall Jones now is not in the game. Waiting there for the And it looks like the Titans are going to go ahead and call a timeout, trying to figure out what play they really wanted to run. And the field clock had gotten down to 5 seconds.
And that's surprising for this Union football team to have to take timeouts in these situations. They're normally really good about, knowing how much time they have on the play clock and managing the clock.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit of a surprise,
Seeing a lot of penalties on both sides of the ball here that I'm sure the coaching staff's scratching their heads about. It's a little late in the season for these types of these penalties. These referees have been very active in this first half of play. I mean, we had 3 infractions on just that last play or 2 plays ago. This is the type of thing that you want that you want to feel like as a coach is shored up before you make the run into the playoffs, because you're going to start meeting teams that are closer to your caliber of talent. And this is when this type of thing can make a difference in a ball game. I mean, a big run like that with a team who's got as many pieces on the board as you do, could be something that could ultimately put you out of the playoffs. JoJo straight drop back. Looking for JoJo Ciafelli coming across. Not going to find anybody. Going to bounce that out to the outside, and he is going to get run out of bounds. Going to draw the flag for the late hit. And, and that's kind of the thing that you got to make sure your team stays focused, and disciplined. I understand the heat of this game. I understand the rivalry of this game. But, as a coach, hey, I appreciate the effort, but understand where everything is. And here it is right here. I mean, nice little thing. They got him to run out of bounds. He really wasn't going to pick up a whole bunch of yards until that.
Yeah, and these penalties, you're exactly right. These penalties are emotional penalties.
Yeah.
These guys are wanting to get the big hits on their opponents, and that's where it's stemming from.
It sure is. So you give the Union Titans a fresh set of downs 10 yards down the field. Something that you definitely don't want to do. Slot receivers now on the lineup. Isaiah Jones in the backfield. They're going to fake it to him. Being run out of the pocket again. Nice little catch down there for Ciafelli. Good job there on Lincoln's behalf to get to see the little opening and trying to drop that in there before he gets hit. Just doing his part to keep this drive alive. That's something you definitely have to be careful of when you're dealing with the Titans.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the football game, I was concerned with a little rust from Lincoln Victor, and he's proved me wrong.
Yeah, he's not showing any.
He's running like a well-oiled machine
yeah,
at this
he's
point.
not showing any rust at all. This time, decides he's going to keep it. Pulls that out, and he's going to get a couple extra yards out of that one. Get down across the 40-yard line. Bring up second down, and it looks like about 3. Nice shot there of Darian Chase and Alex Vallejo. 2 receivers lined up in the slots and outside receiver. Vallejo moves to the other side of the field. Chase open in the middle of the field. There to make the catch, and he's going to get slung to the carpet there by the Camas defender. Matt Williams there to make the stop. But there is another penalty flag on the field here. And it's going to be a holding call against the Titans. So that backs that up. Nice route ran there by Darian Chase.
Yeah, it was a great route. It was a great catch. And the lack of focus on Union side is bringing the ball back again.
Yeah, it sure is.
That's two huge plays that have been negated by penalties.
Yeah. Well, that lets you know that somebody on the line is getting beat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're holding on for dear life. Dual tandem running backs again. This time they're going to get that out there. And CFL is going to actually fumble that quick pitch. But it rolls out of bounds. Going to lose about a yard on that one. And they're going to hand this one off. And Ciafelli gets away from the first tackler, but is wrapped up by the second tackler. Big defensive lineman, name we've called all night is Billy Schultz. Big number 72 is out there making some big tackles tonight. That's going to bring up fourth down and a whole lot to go. We'll see what they're ultimately going to do. Maybe I'm looking at a quick kick, possibly.
Possibly. They do have that option in their playbook.
Yeah, they do. And that's what's going to happen there. And we got a whistles blown here. See ultimately what was the call. And that's going to be a false start on the Titans, so that's going to back them up 5 more yards. Well, good thing they're up by 2 touchdowns right now, because they're definitely playing some sloppy football as far as staying disciplined about what they're supposed to do right now.
Yeah, they have to tighten things up.
Yeah.
And watch it. I think they're playing a faster game than what Camas is. They're half step faster. They're faster on the line. They're playing at a quicker pace.
Yeah.
And Camas hasn't been ready for it yet.
And here they come again. The quick kick by Victor. They'll push him all the way back to the 15. And he is going to go ahead and bring this up and take the tackle. Keep everybody's emotions in check there. We don't need Camas getting a big penalty and pinning them down inside the 5-yard line on this one. They will now take over the ball. Good. We'll give the Camas defense kudos on that. They were able to stay focused and keep the Unions from scoring on that drive. Penalties helped them. But with that being said, somebody was out there getting beat, so they felt like they needed to hold. So, that's still going to give credit to that defensive line there in Camas.
Yeah, so we got 55 seconds left. Let's see if Camas can get into a position where they can put some points on the board. Blair is going to come up sacked. Looks like that was number 43, Jonah Brody Hung, Jr. And that was second down and 15. 29 seconds to go. The clock's counting. Spread offense. Blair fires one downfield. I think Shane Jamison. He was not able to get out of bounds. Camas is going to be forced to take a timeout. Maybe. We'll see. The clock will start as soon as the ball is set. And yes, Camas is going to go ahead and take a timeout. We've got 16 seconds remaining here. So on the prior field goal attempt, it was about a 33-yarder, and it definitely had enough length. So, you know, getting that type of range, you definitely have a field goal option. Jake Blair. We got a spread off of Jake Blair in the shotgun. Takes a snap. He fires one to the left side of the field, and that's going to be intercepted, and the ball run out of bounds. Intercepted by number 23, Aiden Hoyt. And Union's going to take the ball over with 9 seconds to play in the first half. That ball was overthrown just a tad, and I'm not sure if Boyle saw his other options on the other side of the field before he released that ball. So Union's going to go ahead and line up in a victory formation here. They're gonna take the knee, and they're gonna end the half. All right, and as the half comes to the close, we've got Union High School 14, Camas 0. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take it down to the truck to Matt and Rodney the Jet Lawrence for a little halftime talk.
Hello, everybody. Matt Griffin here, executive producer of EPS Sports. Thank you for tuning in tonight for our second EPS Sports broadcast of the night as the Camas Papermakers take on the Union Titans. Union Titans leading now as we head into halftime, 14-0. I'm now joined by Rodney the Jet Lawrence. Rodney, Camas has had a couple chances, but isn't able to push it through.
No, they're struggling a little bit out here. Union is playing a tremendous football game at this point right now. They're not making a whole lot of mistakes defensively. Offensively, we're seeing a couple of things that's negated some big plays for them. But defensively, they're playing a solid game right now.
Well, and we've seen turnovers on both sides of the field.
Yeah, you sure have.
So what does Camas need to do to even it up in the second half?
Well, we saw the big interception here right at the end. I'm going for all the marbles, if you will, here at the end to try to get something big. It seems like the things that it's going to work for them is the stuff right there in the middle. The running game seemed to be working a little bit for a while. The young man's name, Shane Jamison, big guy, 6'4", 220 pounds. Hard to bring him down. They kind of moved the ball methodically down the field in that one series, but they were unable to, and they ended up stalling at the end. So they just kind of get there, mixed up a little bit with some passes across the middle, and I think they'll be just fine.
Well, and we keep hearing his name all season long, Darian Chase.
Yes.
Going to Nebraska.
Yeah, good deal.
They play football there.
Yes, they do.
So
do.
Let's talk a little bit about what a deal maker he is.
Well, obviously Nebraska's looking at him and they want to pick him up. He is a huge deal maker. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He's just kind of quiet. He does things, he's not, you kind of talk about him and then all of a sudden he does something big. He does something small but at a big time. He's just always there being athletic about whatever he's doing. Just a great kid and just a great weapon to have on the football field.
So we're heading into playoffs.
Yes, we are.
Union ranked way up there in the 4A. What are they going to do? How deep do you think they're going to go?
They have the potential to go all the way. I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier. The game's a little sloppy right now with the penalties that they're doing, and that could cause some problems for them as they get deeper into the playoffs and they start meeting some teams that have, just as much talent as they do in that big play by Joseph Ciafelli that got called back. I mean, deep in the playoffs, that could have been a game breaker.
Well, and I heard far too many face mask calls.
Yes, way too many.
Didn't expect to see. So they need to tighten that up a little bit.
They sure do.
All right. Well, thanks for coming down, and we'll be back up in the booth for our second half action in just a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Jet.
All righty.
All right. Now, this is a big night for Clark County High School football. Tonight is the first time all three Clark County school districts that are part of the TV Etc. consortium are broadcasting live high school football on the same night. At 6 o'clock, Vancouver Public Schools brought you the Clarkson versus Columbia River game on Comcast Channel 27. I'm looking at my clock here. I bet you that game is over or just about over. Going on right now on Comcast Cable, or Channel 29, Battleground Public Schools is bringing you South Kitsap versus Battleground, and of course we brought you two games tonight. The first one, Prairie versus Evergreen, and this game, Camas versus Union. So just a great night for high school sports here in Clark County, as all three school districts are now able to bring you live sports, and we're going to be doing this throughout the year. You're going to see soccer, you're going to see some more basketball. In the spring, you'll probably see some track as well. Recently, we invited KPTV over to Skyview High School to take a look at how we get these shows on the air.
Well, the magic of TV really is truly done behind the scenes. It's the people in the back that are the real MVPs. The viewers in Clark County, the real winners, the broadcast crews delivering football, volleyball, soccer, track, hoops, you name it, they've got it. We go tag team with Vancouver Public Schools Game Time and Evergreen Public Schools Sports Broadcasting in tonight's High School Spotlight. This is reality TV. Student-driven, behind the lens and behind the switcher.
Something usually goes wrong right at the very beginning in the studio.
That's TV. The TV stars beyond the Friday night lights are the man hours logged after school by the crews for VPS Game Time and Evergreen Sports. We're both ready for prime time.
People always ask, like, why you keep doing this when you could just go home and hang out. To me, this is kind of hanging out because it's that much fun.
VPS and EPS are instructed by former local television news producers Nick Voll and Matt Griffin.
As somebody who's worked in news, you know, I've seen what a good production looks like, what a professional production looks like, and that's what these kids are getting.
We're trying to give them a real-life job experience that they could take into any type of video field, broadcasting field.
The student volunteers are in video production courses during the school day before the broadcast day begins. Comcast Cable Channel 328, as well as their respective live feeds on Facebook and YouTube.
I don't really see it as extra work. It's really fun to me, and getting to do this after a long school day is sometimes hard because I can get pretty tired, but overall, it's pretty engaging.
And not all jobs are created equal.
I actually ran the instant replay machine, which everyone says is the hardest job, which it is.
Both broadcasts deliver the images differently. VPS streams over a fiber network to a control room a few miles away. EPS completely on scene. The production truck at the stadium or gym where the broadcast is originating from.
One of the things that we appreciate is that our school districts actually support this sort of thing, that they don't view it as some sort of, you know, extra thing. It's something that actually benefits our community, from the folks at home watching to the kids on the court or the field and the kids behind the camera. It's something that they value, and we appreciate that.
And the programs have churned out some professionals in the industry, like Timber's Emmy Award-winning director, Patrick Brown.
This gives them opportunity to just create that school spirit, you know, showcase students doing positive things in a way where they can learn real-life job skills.
Video production students from our 4 comprehensive high schools who are making tonight's broadcast possible. We have Amanda down there on camera, Maisie, Ben, Diego, and we have Mountain View High School alum Meg Peterson on camera as well, and Heritage High School alum Jacob Taylor on instant replay. Thank you guys for making this happen. These students go to school all day and then come out and help us put on 2 football games. That's like a 16-hour day, so we can't say enough about what they do to make these games happen. Now, here in Evergreen Public Schools, we have a commitment to bringing 21st century learning tools into the classroom. Part of that means giving students access to laptop computers and the infrastructure to make them go. We recently went to Chehalia Middle School to see some 7th grade science students learning concepts in math and engineering.
Get one if you need it.
It's a day for technology and teamwork for these 7th grade science students at Shahalo Middle School.
And it went too short. So if it's facing this way, how would we need to turn it to go that way?
Students are learning how to program tiny robots called spheros to navigate through a kind of obstacle course, a series of geometric patterns, all while changing colors and emitting pre-programmed sounds along the way.
It's fun because you get to program it to do whatever you want it to do.
The lesson allows technology to become a tool for learning.
Remember, it's trial and error. So if you don't get it the first time, you just go back and you adjust. It's called refactoring. The kids right now, they're learning scientific inquiry skills. They're learning about variables. They're learning how to problem solve. They're learning engineering skills. They can put these basic things, later on in life they're going to say, okay, well, I remember back when I was doing the Spherobot lab that I had to break these steps apart. I had to chunk it apart. I had to identify where the problem was before I could make a solution to that problem. So they're able to start off with those just very basic skills of being able to identify what exactly is going wrong and how they can fix that.
Students tackle problems through trial and error.
It wasn't going fast enough, or it wasn't the right angle to hit the sticky note, so sometimes it would go where it wasn't supposed to go, so we just changed the speed and angle by a little bit, and then we got it to hit the sticky note.
And then we had it roll for 135 degrees at 135 degrees so it can turn right. And the speed was at 60 for 2 seconds so it can be somewhat in a circle.
And it's not just learning geometry and physics concepts along with computer coding skills. Students are using one-to-one learning devices to share their work by uploading videos of their spheros in action to a PowerPoint presentation, and then sharing their work with their teacher using Google Classroom. Some students even use a simple graphics program to map out some of the things they want their sphero to do.
Kind of draw on it, and you could draw what shape you want to do, or draw what colors what we want it to be at every single turn.
And with this hands-on use of technology, students have those aha moments that can come from working collaboratively as a team.
And they're also learning skills like teamwork, life skills like that, how to work together, how to bounce ideas off of one another. And that's what we do in the science community, in the engineering community.
All right, start it.
Here's you. Here's your future. You can be anything you want. The possibilities are endless. But it's scary. What do you want to do? Do you know? Check out Cascadia Tech Academy. With 16 programs, it's a great way to explore careers and get hands-on learning. If you think Cascadia Tech is not right for you, let's bust some myths. Myth number 1. Cascadia Tech won't really help me land a great career. That couldn't be more false. We've got 16 programs that can lead to good-paying jobs that your friends who just attend high school won't be qualified to get.
You can learn stuff that you can immediately take out and go into real life and do. We're worth our weight in gold in this program.
Myth number 2. Cascadia Tech is not for college-bound students. But it is. We've got honor students, students going to 2- or 4-year colleges, and students planning on entering a trade after high school, so everyone.
I love all the programs here are so great. You talk to people from different programs and they say the same thing. They just love it and the community that's here and all the skills that you learn.
The fact is, Cascadia Tech gives you both academic and technical training to prepare you for life after high school, no matter where that takes you.
1, 2.
Myth number 3. Cascadia Tech is weak in academic content. Again, false. Here's the deal. Cascadia Tech takes a deeper dive into careers that are very much in demand. You're going to come out of high school with an advantage over everyone else because you learn real skills for the real world. Those algebra skills you're learning right now at Cascadia Tech, you'll actually use them to build and design. Myth number 4. Cascadia Tech takes away from my high school experience. In fact, you'll spend half your day at Cascadia Tech and the other half at your high school. You get to hang out with your friends, still get to participate in sports, music, and clubs. That doesn't mean you're not going to meet a lot of new friends right here at Cascadia Tech. The students here share a passion for learning.
I get to just be surrounded by people who love the same thing I do, and it really motivates me to keep following my passion.
So we just busted a bunch of myths. Here are the real facts. Cascadia Tech is your avenue for careers that are in demand. You get to explore career options for free. You're going to learn teamwork, problem solving, and interpersonal skills. It's just what employers are looking for. So, think about your future. You want to graduate ready for a lucrative career? Cascadia Tech is a great first step towards college, trade school, or even your first job.
I would definitely recommend to anyone who would like to truly follow their passion, follow their dreams.
Cascadia Tech is amazing. I'm always recommending it to students.
Whether it's volunteering to read to elementary school students, or preparing food for our summer meals program, or being a lunch buddy, or making sure our concerts and sporting events are safe for students and visitors, or volunteering to teach art discovery classes, there are countless volunteer opportunities in Evergreen Public Schools.
I think most people value our kids as being our future, and so we need to help keep those kids going.
And signing up to be a volunteer is easy. Just go to our website, evergreenps.org/community partnerships. Click on the link to download a volunteer application, fill out just a few forms, and submit them. Once you've cleared the simple background check, you'll be ready to make a difference. This art discovery volunteer sums it up with a quote from a famous Dr. Seuss book.
It makes you feel good to volunteer. It's fun to help the kids. It's fun to get to know the kids. I think, kind of like the one slur in the Lorax said, unless someone like you helps a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. So you need to help in order for things to get better. And I think that volunteering is definitely one way that you can help.
Make a difference. Become an Evergreen Public Schools volunteer.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn on the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
What's your reaction? Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
This is their world.
Nothing.
And then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
And we want to thank everybody who's watching tonight on the channels of TV, etc., on Comcast channels 28 and 328, or on our YouTube and Facebook live streams. Let's get to some second half football. Camas versus Union. I got it right.
Open in the middle. middle of the football field, catches it for a touchdown.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Cool, with a big three. Great. Takes it all the way now. Nice. All right, hey, we want to welcome you guys back here. You see the rain coming down hard here at the start of this third quarter. Camas going against Union. Camas down 14-0 here at McKenzie Stadium. Rod Lawrence, Ryan Vasbinder, EPS Sports Network. We are back, ready for an exciting second half of football. And here we go. That is going to be a touchback, and Union will take the ball over on their own 20-yard line. So exciting ending to the first half there. Camas trying to go for all the marbles there in the last 16 seconds of the game, and ended up throwing that pick.
Yeah, and I think the quarterback, Jake Blair, just got a little bit of tunnel vision in that situation. Threw to a spot where there was, he had two receivers, but there was two defenders, and they were well covered, and the ball was just overthrown just a bit.
Yeah, it sure looked like it. So back to the usual suspects here for the Titan backfield. We've got Niall Jones, Joseph Ciafelli. The quarterback is Victor Lincoln. Or Lincoln Victor. I always want to mix that up. Big play at the beginning, going for that, and he's unable to bring that down. So we kind of talked about the abilities of Darian Chase there at the halftime. Has committed to Nebraska, as we have found out. So he's already got somewhere to go. They tried to go for the big hit there right at the beginning, and, we have to give the Camas defender out there is pretty much stayed with Darian Chase all night tonight. Didn't make any of the catches easy for him, and any of the fly routes he's been right there in his face. So, but, you never know with an athlete like Darian Chase. You keep doing that, and he's bound to make you look ridiculous at least once and do something spectacular. So keep an eye out on that. Oh, and he breaks through the crowd there. Nice little run there for Niall Jones. That's his first big run of the day. And, I like how he just kept driving through and, just kind of squeezed his way through the lineup there and just kept it pushing. We do have a penalty flag right there on the ground, though, and we'll see what that's going to cost us. Or should I say cost them? And it is a holding penalty. One of many that we've seen through the riddled pretty much the first half of play, and we've started the second play with same as it ever was. So they've definitely got to shore up those holding penalties to make sure that is something that they're not going to have to deal with once the playoffs get going. And couldn't really see where a hold happened there. You did see how great of a run, though, that was by Niall Jones. So with the penalty now, that'll bring up, they'll give them 3 yards out of it, and they'll bring up 2nd and 7. Just going to hand this off to Ciafelli. He's looking for the edge, and he does find it right there at about the 30-yard line. Going to get about an extra yard after that, and it'll be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, it's going to be important for Union to take control of their penalty woes that they had in the first half, because if they were able to keep those under control, it'd be a different ballgame right now.
Yeah, it sure would. This game might be out of reach if it hadn't been for those holding penalties. Sending the man in motion, and he's going to try to get the ball. Nice snag there. And he's going to get across the 35 and just keep going until he finally gets stopped at about the 37-yard line. Nice, strong run. Great catch. Nice snag there, especially in the rain, the way it is. And then a nice run on the end of it. Nice 8 yards. Bring up 2nd down. Two running backs in the back. They're going to give this one to Jones. This time Jones has nowhere to go. He's going to get tackled high and low on that by several defenders. No shock that Billy Schultz in the mix. Nice shot at the Union cheerleaders. This time, quarterback goes under center. He's going to hand this one off. CFL bounces it to the outside, looking for the edge. And does manage to get down to the 45-yard line before he stopped. You saw a little open field blocking there by Darian Chase to allow 26 to get around the corner. Jones comes out of the game. He's going to be replaced by Isaiah Jones. We're going to hand this one off to Isaiah Jones. He's right up the middle. Nice quick little running there. He's going to get down to the 37-yard line. Nice little 12-yard run. Enough to move the chains. Took care of a little business, and he comes right back out of the game. Isaiah's a little different of a dynamic than Niall. Looks like a whole lot quicker than actually both of them. Just a different style runner. I mean, he was at level 2 before anybody even knew he had the football. Another handoff there. Brogan Lane there to make the stop, number 14. After a 5-yard gain. Alex Vallejo now moves down to the bottom of the screen in the slot formation. They're going to hand this one off to Ciafelli again. It's not going to be a whole lot of room for him to get started on that one. Billy Schultz there to make the stop. This time they're setting the I formation. Hand off to Ciafelli, and he is going to get stopped right now as the linebacker shoots the gap on that play to make the stop. Jackson Preston's going to take credit on that one. He came through the line untouched on that. Great defensive play there. Is going to bring up 4th down and 7 for the Titans.
Yeah, and it's not unusual for Union to go for it in this situation.
No, not at all. Not at all. This will be a big play, a big opportunity for the Camas defense. Ciafelli in motion. They're going to roll that direction. Lincoln's going to try to come back the other direction here. He gets that ball off, and he is not going to be able to make the connection. So Union will turn the ball over in downs to the Camas Papermakers.
And that was the defensive stand that the Papermakers needed to make coming out into this second half.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did.
They get the ball turned over on downs. Now they can go to work and try to find their way into the end zone.
So Camas will take over on their own 39-yard line, so decent field position here. A couple of big plays. They're in the red zone, and looking for a potential score here. The defense did their job. Now it's going to be time for the offense to take part and put some points on the board for them. They're going to hand this ball off to Shane. Shane breaks into the middle of the field. He's wide open now being chased by Titans. He's going to go down at, it looks like about the 25. No flags on the play up to this point. We've got a Titan down on the floor, or on the field, I should say. So here's another look at that replay, and just a real good job of getting down the field. Ciafelli there trying to make the tackle and grab one of the legs, unable to get him to stop him. I'm telling you, when you're that big, 6'4", 220, I think is what they have him listed at, it is hard to stop, especially after he's been running a good 15, 20 yards.
It certainly is. He's like a box truck. Once he gets moving,
yeah,
he ain't stopping.
All right, set up here. They're going to give it to that young man again. He's going to find some more room. Going to get tripped up there, but he's going to get down across the 20-yard line. Jackson Saylor there to trip him up and make the stop. And they are going to give the ball to the running back one more time. And he is going to get enough to move the chains. And the last time they had a nice series, Shane Jamison is, he's their guy right now. They need to be riding this young man. He did come out of the game. They're probably giving him a bit of a breather. And he's being replaced now. Got a different style of running back in the game. He's going to take this one himself. He is going to get a couple of yards out of this before he's stopped. Not quite as big as Shane. Is Birdsell. He is only a sophomore, so a young guy, 5'9", 180 pounds. So, he's definitely the future. Give it to him again, and he is going to get another 2-3 yards out of this, so he's getting himself even closer. And here comes Jamison. So with that, the paper makers are going to call timeout. Looking at 3rd down and 6. They can get inside the 5-yard line, get the first down, and still have 4 more downs to deal with. So this is a big down here for them right now. They want to make sure that everybody is clear on their purpose.
Yeah, and it's a big down, and it's a situation that they haven't really seen yet tonight. Their running game has been working. They've been able to go ahead and get 2-3 yards to carry, but they're sitting at 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
And so you're at this point you're almost looking at a passing play, but they haven't been effective through the air yet tonight.
Yeah. No, they haven't. They've had 2 big catches to Joey Schnell, number 2. They haven't really used him yet up to this point, but the running game seems to be working pretty good for him right now. Jamison's back in the game as the running back. Jamison's going to take this snap. He's going to get down across the 5-yard line, and he is going to get tackled and brought down at around the 2. So that will get him inside, far enough inside the 5-yard line to get the first down. So that'll bring up 1st and goal from the 2. And another nice hard run from that young man. And they're going to give it to him again, and he is going to drive hard and not go down, and he is going to get in for the touchdown. So 4:58 left to play in the 3rd quarter, and Camas on the scoreboard trying to make this a game.
Yeah, and I was glad to see that they gave the ball back to Jamison in that situation.
Yeah.
He worked so hard to move them all downfield. it was nice to be able to go ahead and reward him.
Yeah, with the touchdown.
A touchdown.
Well, we saw a glimpse of that in the first half, and they kind of went away from it and struggled a little bit. We've got a kick, and it is good. So that is going to put 7 on the scoreboard for Camas. No longer a goose egg on the scoreboard there. Camas Papermakers now finally on the board. 14-7, Union. It's their turn. Here's a look at the replay, and it's just he just is not going to go down. You know, he's running over people. You actually see him running people over to get into the end zone there. He is just a hard runner. He's definitely going to go on the side and take some deep breaths because they're going to need him again.
You certainly will.
Titans receiving team on the field. We've got Ciafelli and Chase now, the 2 deep men. And we've got a kickoff here. And that's going to get kicked into the end zone. So the Titans will take the ball over on their own 20. 4:58 left to play in the quarter. And now see if the Papermaker defense can come in here and do what they did on the last with the bend don't break mentality and get the ball back with an opportunity to put some more points on the scoreboard. Going to hand that ball off again, looking for somewhere to go. And he is going to get a nice 11-yard run out of this one before he's finally brought down. And that's the type of thing you don't need. It's for big runs like that. You know, you just want to make them take a whole lot of downs to get to 10 yards, not one in one play. Isaiah Jones back in the game. Niles on the sideline. They're going to give it to Ciafelli again. And he's going to look for some nice little spin move, and he is just not going to go down until he gets ridden down, but only after another 15-yard run. Nice spin moves out there to kind of get away from those tackles. Here's the replay. It's right up there on the inside. One spin, 2 spins.
He's just so athletic,
yeah,
and he has so much power. You take a look at here, and he's got a guy on his back, and he's still gaining yards.
Sure is. He's making sure he secures that football. Looks like he almost lost it. So that is going to be enough for the first down right there on the 47-yard line. Lincoln's dropping back. Has a man open across the middle. Makes the catch, but is able to strip it away from Elijah Taylor. It's the first time we called his name this evening on a route, and he's unable to bring that one all the way in. That would have been another big play, so kudos to the corner there, Birdsell, for being able to strip that ball right as he makes contact. Sophomore getting a lot of playing time on Friday night. Definitely one of the future kids for the Papermakers. Elijah Taylor drops another one. That's 2 in a row. And he's going to have to come out and think about this one. All right, so they're here waiting for the new play. Now it looks like they've got, they're going to go ahead and keep this one right up the middle. Victor makes the first person miss right inside, and then he's going to take a big pop there for the corner as he tries to cut that one upfield. But he does get into paper maker territory, and he'll go down and right there at the 48-yard line. He'll bring up 4th down and 4.
Lincoln Victor's, he's so fast.
Yeah,
and he's so quick to change direction. Once he gets in the open field, it's very difficult to bring him down.
It is, most definitely. 4 down territory. Titans in this area do like to go ahead and keep the ball and go for it. Victor's going to be the guy, and this time they're going to stop him. And he's going to be short. So for the second series in a row, the Camas paper makers have been able to stop the Union Titans offense.
Yeah, that's 2 big
Could start to
defensive
feel
series.
a bit of there's a hint of a momentum change here, just a little bit. If Camas now getting the ball in very good field position, just 5 yards outside of Union territory. And here comes the big runner who carried the caseload that entire last series and moved the ball down the field. They're going to give it to him again. He goes down to one knee. I think that's the only thing that prevented him from getting more than the 4 yards that he's got. Go down right there at the 49-yard line, bring up 2nd down and 6. Just under 2.5 minutes left to play in this quarter. Offense seems to have the momentum. They're going to hand this ball off again. This time, nothing's doing. The Union Titans defense is right there. They give them a couple of yards lost. So here's an opportunity. Jake Blair has him set up. They're going to hand this ball off again. This time he's going to get a big run, and he is going to get down across the 45-yard line down to move the chains.
Yeah, that was another great run by Birdsell.
Yeah, it sure is.
A shot of the visiting Camas fans there.
They're not going to call that a complete pass, so it'll bring up 2nd down. Intended receiver on that one. There's Luke Sturbell, number 13, lined up on the far side there. For that one, they're going to hand this one back off again to the big running back. He's going to take a big pop there by one of the linebackers. No, actually, that's one of the corners. Good pop there by, that is Alex Vallejo. But it does bring up 3rd and 1. And he's going to take the ball again. And this time he fumbles the ball, but we're going to see if the Union Titans get this one. Let's see what's going on here. And it looks like the paper makers. No, it was a fumble, and the Titans recovered it. So that is a big turnover for the paper makers there. Not sure who came in on that last hit, but he'll definitely get the credit for jarring that ball loose.
And that's just a huge momentum killer for Camas.
Yeah, it sure is.
You know, they come out, they get 2 big stops. They were able to go ahead and score. Here it is. It looks like can't quite see who made that
hit on the end there, but it was the last hit that jarred the ball loose.
Very well could have been number 15, Jack Eagleston.
Yeah. Another handoff here to Ciafelli. He's going to cut that one back upfield. Now he fumbles the ball, and Camas is going to get the ball back. So all the rain might be starting to make, because that one just kind of slipped out of his hands. You know, in that last, that big run he had right there at the end, he almost lost it. It kind of slipped up, you know, poked up top there. He was able to hold on to that. Here's the replay. He stops, cuts that back up. Nice little cut. Yeah, he just gets that poked out. And this time Camas able to get back on that ball and turn that one over.
We've had a couple turn of events here.
Birdsell now back in as the running back. Another nice little run play. He's going to get about 3 yards out of it. Jake Blair's only thrown one pass this entire third quarter, and that is going to be the end of the third quarter. So Camas Papermakers on turnovers back-to-back now showing a little momentum here. All they are is a touchdown down, and they are right outside the red zone. 14-7, Union on top. We'll be right back to start the fourth quarter.
We are the people who dictate what happens. Most will say you can only dictate what happens in your personal life, but that's wrong. Democracy only works if you get involved, not stand by and idly watch, then complain about our leadership. That power is in our hands. So stand up and participate. Family, friends, everyone depends on it.
Welcome back as we start the fourth quarter. Camas is going to start with the ball on the 29-yard line.
There's the handoff. Nice run up the middle. Going to get down across the 25. Down to the 22. Bring up third down Detroit situation. The chalk talk was a heavy dose of Sean Jameson for the second half of this game. And up to this point, it seems to be working.
He's definitely getting his share of carries.
Yes, he is.
In the second half, or at least in the third quarter. And starting to in the fourth quarter.
Another handoff to the running back. He's going to try to cut that upfield. Forward progress are going to get stopped there around the 20. Oh, it looks like about the 17-yard line. Now bring up second down and 7. Another run play, this time nowhere for him to go. They'll give him back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like with the line judge over there. And Jameson comes back on the field. Birdsell will take the break. Blair making sure everybody has a play. This time, we've got an interception in the end zone. It's the second interception thrown tonight by Jake Blair. Intended receiver was Jackson Kleemer. Tried to just kind of go up top. Really didn't put enough air on it because, I mean, they have him listed as 6'6". You could have put some more air on that ball and possibly been able to bring that down from the corner, but not quite enough air on that, so Union will take the ball over. There's the replay. Just not enough air. Not enough air at all. Union right there to make the stop. So the defense has been able to do a great job. Offense not able to capitalize on their opportunities. There's another one by Ciafalli, who has to cut back across the grain. Generally does damage when he does that, but he's going to make it out to about the 26-yard line. Nice 6-yard run. This time they send a man in motion. They're going to hand this ball off again. Niall Jones, the ball carrier. So with that, that'll move the chains. First down and 10 from the 34-yard line. Nice little quick pitch out. Going to be brought down about after a yard gain on that play. 2 yards they're going to actually set the spot for. Dawson Ingram, credit for the stop over there on the far edge. Nice shot there of Coach Rory Rosenbach. At an official's timeout, we make sure the clock on the field is where it needs to be. We're going to wind the clock now. There goes everything set up the way it's supposed to. Got trip receivers. They're going to send the man in motion. Hands it off this time. Almost dropped that one, but is able to get upfield. Looks like he's going to get about a yard out of that before he goes down. Waiting here for the play to come in. Field clock down to 15 seconds. Roll out, got a man. Darian Chase is the man he's looking for. Has him open. There's the catch. They are going to say that he got down and was able to bring that in. But that was a nice little route there ran by Darian Chase. Here's the replay here. Rollout. Nice route there by Chase. He kind of bent that one in. Looked like he was going to run a slant and then just kind of release back out to the outside and caught the DB on his heels and was able to pull away from him on that. So with that big catch, that brings him into Camas territory. We're going to give the ball here to Ciafalli. Nice little rollout. to prevent that tackle, and he's going to get down inside the 20 and down to the 15-yard line. I love watching his spin moves. And it's hard to stop him once he gets spinning like that.
Yeah, once he gets moving, there's no stopping him.
Camas is going to have to start thinking about opportunities missed now. If Union's able to get on the scoreboard again. Jones has the ball this time. Looks like he's going to go down right there on the 14-yard line. All right, so set up here, ready to go. Jones takes this one again. Runs right into the pack. He's not going to be able to get much out of that one. Looks like they gave him 2 yards on that, so 3rd and 7. Officials now timeout. Looks like we have got a man down on the field. He's able to get up on his own there. Looks like that's number 27. That's Alex Vallejo. So here we go. Slot receivers down here at the bottom. Split backs, they're going to see Ciafelli in motion. Drops back, has a man in the middle. This one is dropped, almost picked off, and that is the 3rd ball that Elijah Juan Taylor has dropped this afternoon.
Yeah, he's had a rough evening tonight. I mean, even if he makes one of those 3 catches,
yeah,
you know it
would have been a possibility for either a longer sustaining drive or a touchdown eventually, because they were drive killers, each one of them. This one also was once again. This time they're going to have to go for the 3. A small victory here. And he was not able to make it, so the Camas Papermakers still in this. 3 defensive stances for the Papermakers. The offense is definitely now has to do something. Here is their opportunity. We've got 5:38 left to play in this game. They have to do something right now.
Yeah, and the big thing with Camas is stick with what's working. Stick with the game on the ground. Airing it out down the field has only resulted in turnovers for them.
Yeah, it sure has, especially big long passes.
They have to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
stick with short 10-yard routes. Stick with the ball on the ground, because that's what they've seen success.
Well, I get why they did it. I mean, it was a good time to throw that kind of pass. He just didn't get enough air under it. I mean, I see where they were going. They have kind of lulled them to sleep a little, if you will. With the run game. They had a 6'8" guy run into the corner of the end zone, or a 6'6" guy run into the corner of the end zone. You just got to go up there and let the 6'8" guy go get it. I'm going to hand this one off again. This time Jameson is going to meet some contact right at the line of scrimmage. But they're going to give him about 2 yards before they can consider him stopped. Jameson's going to come out of the game, get a breather. Birdsell now is checked in. Yeah, I kind of wonder if Birdsell breaks loose on one of these, he might not get stopped. He might not get caught. You know what I'm saying?
No, he does. He definitely has some speed on him.
Not as powerful as a runner as Jamison, but I just kind of feel like if he gets into open space, he's going to be a little dangerous. Going to hand this one off again. This time he is going to get about a yard before he stopped. One of the things they're doing, the Union front line, is they're just creating piles and letting the linebackers come up and clean stuff up, you know. And he's getting tripped up in the pile. Okay, Jamison now back in the game. 2nd down and 9. They're going to give this one to Jamison. Nice run. Going to get to about the 38-yard line. And bring up a 3rd down and short situation.
Yeah, that's another big run by Jamison. I mean, he's able to carry people with him.
Yeah, he sure is. Clock now just down there around the 3-minute mark left to play in this game. So time is definitely going to become a concern here. That time, Titan defense able to string him out a little bit. This is a big call here now. Ball right there on the 40-yard line. He's got to get to the 42 for the 1st down.
And I think with 2 minutes 40 seconds to go and counting,
you take this. It's a no-brainer. They are going to take a timeout and talk about it, make sure they understand, but you definitely don't want to give Union the ball back at this time. You might not get another opportunity.
No, you really might not, and you have to find a way where you get 2 yards.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fly sweep or an option or just a quick out route to the sideline where you can, when you have a quick button hook, get those 2 yards.
Yeah, get the 2. Maybe even a route on the edge with a pump and go. I mean, these corners are going to be pressing. This might be one of the easier times to get behind one of them. But like you said, Jake Blair hasn't had much success in the long ball right now, so it's kind of something we're going to kind of try to get away from. But then again, also you want to make sure that you got the right play, and they're bringing everybody with them. And they are not going to get the 1st down. Well, it looks like they might get it. They're based on the spot, and we've got a flag on the play. Let's see who that's going to be against. To the officials.
See where they spot the ball.
Yeah, well, the official on this side of the field, on the side of the home bleachers, made it look like that they had possibly gotten it. But where I'm seeing the ball on the field over there, it looks like they might have come up a little short. Well, it looks like they are going to measure it. Camas did get the 1st down on that play, so that is a big play. So very close. So now let's see what this penalty was about. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Union. So that's going to also move the ball 15 yards, I do believe, after they spot the ball for the new 10 yards. So after they get the first down, they'll march off another 15 yards, and they'll get another 1st and 10 on the Union 43-yard line. Clock now just at 2:29.
It's been an exciting football game tonight.
It sure has. It sure has. Going to hand this off again. He's going to break that up front. Going to get about 2 yards. He's about a half a second later getting that upfield, or he would have been. He could have been up the field quite a few more yards.
Yeah, he certainly could have.
We're going to hand it off to this young man again. And he's going to get down across the 40-yard line, down to looks like the 37.
And now we're in another, 3rd and 4 situation.
Yeah.
And the problem with using Shane Jamison as much as you have tonight is that there's no surprise anymore.
Yeah.
You're always going to have 2 linebackers locking on to Shane Jamison and following him wherever he goes, whether he has the football or not.
Yeah, sure does. It's a big 3rd down here. And they're going to throw the ball. And it looks like there might have been an issue in the route being run there. Quite a crowd sitting there. It's Alex Vallejo, a little banged up. Ciafelli is going to go in for him. Now we've got 4th down and 4 yards to go. Blair has not completed a pass here in the second half of this ball game. And we are down to the last minute and 23 seconds left to play. And now we have got movement by Camas. That's going to back him up. He's going to make 4th and 9. You're still in a situation where you got to go for it.
Yeah, and this makes this down even more difficult.
Yeah.
Like you said, Blair hasn't completed the pass yet this half.
No, he sure hasn't. And we're going to go ahead and take the timeout. This also makes this down highly probable that he's going to have to throw the ball.
Right. He's going to have to throw the ball. He doesn't have he doesn't have the confidence of completing passes tonight.
No, not right now. It doesn't seem like it.
And on top of that, it's still raining out there. The balls are still wet.
Mm-hmm. Biggest 4th down of the game. On both sides of the ball here. Turned into the battle that we wanted it to be, right?
It certainly has. You can see how hard the rain's coming down there in that shot.
Coach Eagle still out there on the field. Came all the way out to the top of the numbers to make sure he had a clear understanding of what was going to go on. And this ball is overthrown once again. He actually had his man open on that play. If he'd have thrown it, I don't know if he threw it to where he thought he was going or threw it to where he thought he should be. missed it pretty long on that one.
Yeah.
Union's going to take the ball over on downs with 1 minute and 17 seconds left to play in this game.
And the man was open, so you can't disagree with the play call. But
no, yeah, he was open.
They just weren't able to execute.
Yeah.
So Camas has 1 timeout left. With 1 minute 17 to go.
Yeah, Union gets one good play, that there's not going to be a whole lot. I mean, they don't really have to run the ball anymore, and it does look like they are in victory formation here. So the clock's going to run, and then once they wind the team clock, the field clock, they've got at least 24 seconds before they have to so now Union won't snap the ball here until the ball gets down under 5 seconds. They might have to do it one more time, depending on how quick the officials move. Yep. And no, they do not have to do another play. And Camas will take the L on this Friday night down here at McKenzie Stadium. And the Union Titans are the champions of the Greater St. Helens League for the 4A bracket. They pretty much are writing their own ticket now for the road to the Dome here. The next couple of games will be right here at McKenzie Stadium.
Yeah, and tonight they played Union football.
Yeah, they did.
They stuck with their game plan. There's a lot of big names that we didn't call on the Union side tonight.
Yeah, there is.
We didn't call Olajuwon Taylor's name a whole lot. We didn't call Darian Chase's name a whole lot tonight, and so there's still pieces that still need to be put together. But Union's a strong football team, and they're expected to go far.
Yeah, they definitely are. Hey, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We had 2 great football games. Historical event tonight. We milestones, if you will, with all the school districts in here in Clark County broadcasting sports live through the Comcast channels and through all the other media outlets with the Facebook page, the Evergreen Network channel on YouTube. So, we've gotten it all out there. We're bringing football to everybody inside the state and outside the state to make sure you can stay up on what's happening up here in Clark County. So we definitely appreciate that. I want to thank you guys tonight for joining us. I got my buddy Ryan Vassbinder here. I'm Rod Lawrence. You guys have a great evening.